Hey there neighbors, Julie from Wild Homestead living here with you in the 4th week of 2023. You know, this is a time when a lot of people's motivation, their ideals, their gumption is starting to wear off from those first few weeks of the year. But if you're watching this, that tells me that you are not one of those people. You are blowing the curve by continuing to show up. It's also the Lunar New Year, which is something that 1.5 billion of us on this planet celebrate. And I have to admit, it's something that I'm still really just learning about. But what I love about it is that it is focused more on the actual natural cycles of the planets rather than on an arbitrary calendar. The other thing I love about it is that, again, in this time where we're starting to maybe wane from our motivation at the beginning of the year, it's a new start. And it reminds me that whether or not it's on the calendar or it's in the moon, there's always the opportunity for a new start. Last week, I had shared with you that my one small thing I was going to commit to was to buy my garden seeds, and I did it. I'm very happy to report that I only bought maybe 3, maybe 4 extra packets of seeds than I planned on, which is a much better ratio than I usually do. And I did that by using my strategy and formula for seed buying and planting, which you can see in previous videos from this year. This week I also started reading a new book, or really listening to an audiobook by Barry Lopez, who is one of my favorite writers, who writes about nature and also our experience as humans on this planet. The book is called Embrace Fearlessly This Burning World. I mean, man, right there, just that title is so powerful. And it's a collection of essays. And one of them that I've read, he talks about us being in an era of emergencies and how there's this quickening. And I know I feel it and many others feel it as well. His point in this essay was not so much that we should become fearmongers or overdo the prepping side of things, but that we should take an honest look at this idea that, especially in the Western world, in the US where I live, is that just over the horizon, there will be a clear path to redemption. We should take an honest look at that idea that maybe it's not true. Maybe nobody is coming for us. Maybe instead it's our job to look within and to cut a clear path through the weeds for ourselves. And that really resonated with me as an idea of radical personal responsibility, which is what I like to think of homesteading and sustainability as, instead of completely isolated self-sufficiency. When I think about this idea of us having to cut our own path, I think of it not as each one of us having to maybe do it completely alone, but that maybe we can serve as guides for each other. Maybe there are ways that I've found a route over this boulder or through this copse of trees that you could use, and I can share it with you. And maybe there's ways that you've found around some hurdles that I haven't figured out yet. And so in this way, we become engaged in a reciprocal relationship of helping each other find our way home. And by home, I mean that place where we feel a sense of belonging to ourselves, to the people that we choose to have in our lives, to the land in which we live, to the more than human world that is always around us and really, in my experience, always waiting for that opportunity to engage with us. Here's what I know to be true, is that sometimes the things that seem the worst and that can cause us the most grief end up somehow transforming into amazing gifts. I am living my best life, and I'm living it because of cancer. It was only through that experience that I found the courage to go for my dreams. My life is better than it's ever been. Even though I'm still struggling with the feeling stuff, and I'm still always learning new skills, and there's more I'd like to do on the homestead. I'm having more joy and more meaningful connections than I ever thought would be possible. And so I just share that with you in case you're out there in the wilderness and you are not sure where redemption is going to come from, and you are not even sure where to begin cutting that path. I hope that I can offer you a flicker of light that can help guide the way, and that I can encourage you to find your own inner compass. And together, we're going to get through this step by step, breath by breath, day by day. If you're still here in this check-in video with me and you're still showing up with me on a regular basis, I just want to tell you how grateful I am for you. This is something that gives me a sense of peace to connect with you, and I'm so grateful for those of you who have reached out to me and told me that they are meaningful for you as well. I hope that you are continuing to choose one small thing every week to do for your own well-being, for the sustainability of this planet and all of the human family who lives here. I want you to remember, there is no one right way to homestead, only the way that's right for you.